Hey, Mazia, what's happened with the horses?
Horses, yeah, in Iran with my coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, he very
Okay.
good care of them, and
Yeah.
they are good.
Yeah.
They send me the
Wonderful.
pictures, and I cannot do anything. Just watching them.
You poor guy, man. You must be freaking out. Poor guy.
Yeah,
Anyway, he's got
maybe,
horses in Iran,
Wow,
Yanni. He has horses.
that's
How
yeah,
many do
awesome.
you have? One or two or
two.
two?
Yeah,
And you know, Ioannis, Mazier is also in theater. He's
yeah,
a theater director.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
So when I was there with Morvarid, we were going to go to one of his theaters, but because of all the stuff with the
yeah.
exhibition, we didn't get the chance to go. So it's
Next
Wow.
time.
this is his passion and his love is theater.
Yeah, yeah. I will send you the pictures of that.
Yeah,
Please,
well,
please.
I've seen quite a few already too. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it's
will
good.
send you the
But
pictures.
I'm disappointed I missed it. But next time you have an English speaking role,
Yeah, exactly. I want to put subtitles on it and maybe another performance. Yeah,
yeah.
after this crisis and after I open my practice here and be more stable, and then I will
How
continue
is it with COVID there? It's not too bad.
here. The practice is gradually start to work. Yeah, same as every other places. And
So they've got the strict rules, masks, everything
yes,
out in the
yes,
streets.
yes,
So
yes,
they're
yes,
keeping it under control.
yes, yes, very good. And it's downwarding. Yeah, it's down growth there. Yeah. In New Brunswick, there is no case, zero. And
Wow.
Oh wow.
yeah, no New Brunswick. But in Ontario, there's still, I think, every day 200 people. It's as a down growth. It started from 500 every day. Now it's 200.
It's going
Cases,
down.
not
Case,
deaths.
case,
Cases.
case. Yeah. Okay. Let me send it to Facebook. In a group, Implant Diary.
Εσύ, Γιάννη, θα δείξεις τώρα τα δικά σου από εκεί μετά.
No, no, I have like a very small presentation for just to
Okay.
show
At the end, yeah.
why we did what we did.
Okay. Now we are going live in Facebook also. Okay. And also live in Instagram. Okay, we are live now. I record this so everybody can see it later because there are so many webinars now in Toronto, especially in Toronto at this time. Okay, welcome to another talk in Implant Diaries with special guest, Dr. Ioannis Vergoullis, periodontist, and George Papps. There is no need to introduce you, but as a routine, let me introduce our guests for you, for some of our participants. George Papps is CEO of the MPF Brush Co. He received his diploma of dental technology in 1982 from Sydney, Australia, and worked and studied in Australia until 1986, and moved to Greece, where he opened his own laboratory and ran it until 2007. In 1998, began to innovate products for the dental technology sector, and in 1999, launched his first innovation at the International Dental Show in Germany, the spring-activated ceramic brush, which he still manufactures and sells today in over 95 countries globally. Currently, George Papps is the co-inventor of the Cervico system by VPI and CEO of the company, and holds 7 patents in the field of dental implantology. And welcome, George, welcome.
Salam Kube Mazia.
Merci. Your Persian is getting better and better. Yeah, your Farsi is good. Okay, welcome. And Dr. Ioannis Vergoullis, DDS MS, graduated from the Dental School of the Kapostarian University of Athens, Greece in 1999. He received his certificate in periodontics and master's degree in oral biology from the Louisiana State University School of Dentistry, New Orleans, USA, 2005. Since 2006, Dr. Vergoullis is the leading periodontist at the Vergoullis Dental Clinic in Rhodes, Greece. And in 2010, he becomes a visiting assistant professor of the periodontics department at the Louisiana State University of School in the United States. Dr. Vergoullis is a diplomate of the American Board of Periodontology and a fellow and diplomate of the International Congress of Oral Implantologists, ICOI. He is also international member of the American Academy of Periodontology and ICOI, and an honorary member of the Aesthetic Academy of Greece, Lithuania, and Bulgaria. Dr. Vergoullis has been an invited keynote speaker in several international meetings and congresses in Greece, Spain, Lithuania, Bulgaria, Cyprus, Croatia, Ukraine, and Netherlands, USA, Germany, so many congresses in countries. And his main topic of interest is laser-assisted periodontal treatment and implantology. Dr. Vergoullis is the co-inventor of the Cervico system by VPI and CEO of the company, holds 7 patents in the field of dental implantology. Very nice. Thank you for coming and joining us.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, thank you. And I know this is a very sad days and days of virus and sorrow, and we are confined to our homes, confined to a different way of inhabiting 24 hours. And but there is hope and happiness in it for recovering people, for recovered people, and how much people helping each other is very promising and amazing. And it's a very good time to think about ourselves, to think about inside us, a stranger inside us, and to think about the bigger picture, not just doing implants, doing dentistry. It's a bigger picture for taking care of our patients.
Thank you for taking the time to do all this for everyone, because you're putting in a lot of effort, and all you're doing is giving, which is amazing. Thank you, Mazia.
Thank you. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation. Thank you, Ioannis. for your amazing work. And first I got the kids in Iran. It was amazing. But I just have an opportunity to work a little case. After that, I came to Canada. And yeah, I'm here. After summer, I start again working with your amazing kids. And I hope, I'm sure it's a very big different from that time, yes? More improvements.
Things have changed. So
okay, yeah. Okay, let's ask you, George. George and Ioannis, how did you two meet each other from the first place?
I start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
No, I start.
Okay.
Well, so we have two common friends, two lab technicians, Kostas and Dimitris Taraxoglu. These are two very good friends of ours, amazing guys, that they are located here in Rhodes. So back then it was like 2013, and I had this idea about, I realized that I need some custom healing abutments. So I got them to make a very small prototype for me. And they told me, why don't you speak to George Papps? He has patents, he has invented things, and like he can help you make something nice out of this. So I had seen George in this lab, but George, if he doesn't know you, he doesn't speak too much. He's not very talkative. So anyway, I said, okay, is he a nice guy? They told me, yes, he's a very nice guy. I said, okay, I cannot see that at the moment, but let me try. So I go and I say to him, listen, George, hi, I'm Ioannis, this is what I do, and I have an idea, and I would love you to come to my clinic, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And he tells me, okay, man, I have to go to Australia, and then as soon as I come back, I will come and visit you to your clinic. Now you can continue. And be careful what you say, because we are going to talk the truth here.
Okay, George.
So I arrived at his clinic after coming back from Australia. And as soon as my plane landed, the telephone just went boom. It was on fire. It's Ioannis. Okay. So when are you going to come? Blah, 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 blah. This was a Friday afternoon. So I arrived on the Monday morning there, and this bantering and communication, and I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to find this, I want to find that. It was just, I could see the fire in his stomach, the passion that he had. And I needed to, because I come from the technical background, I needed to understand what he was talking about. He was talking to me about things that were a little bit, for me, it was a little bit difficult to understand. So I had to, so that was the beginning of the next 4.5 years of my life, that first day. So I stayed there for 4.5 years with him, and we developed all this that you see. And it's been an amazing trip. I wouldn't change it for the world. We've had these ups and downs, not between ourselves, but
of course.
Because when you're innovating, you get emotionally involved, and you put so much energy into this that it's just continuous. You sleep it, you dream it, you wake up with it, you sleep it, you wake up with it. It's the same thing. It's just day in, day out. And but trust me, that's the only way that things can happen, if you go in 500%. And that's what we did. And it's been an amazing trip. Amazing trip.
We're going to that trip, an adventure later on.
Okay.
Ioannis, what was your inspiration to innovate the Cervico system? What was the problem? When you invent something, always there is a problem. You see something is going wrong and you want to do something about it. It was about aesthetic, or just making a better emergence profile or soft tissue management? Which part was?
back then, the only thing I knew about emergence profile was that you need to be a prosthodontist to make it. And it's all about aesthetics, so it's important for the anterior cases. The main reason behind the invention and behind the trigger point to start thinking, you know, was that I started seeing a lot of cases with periimplantitis. And, you know, a lot is very subjective. As the more implants you place, the more problematic cases you're going to see. So I started looking for the root of the problem, because it's very frustrating when you have to deal with these kind of cases. And you really get a lot of headache and a lot of stress. So as soon as I noticed that, you know, we have like a significant number, I said, okay, we need to find the root of the problem and deal with it now before it's too late and I have to move to another place. So digging into it, I figured out that I was putting the blame on the dentist, on the restorative dentist, or on the lab technician, which is easier to put it on the lab technician than your colleagues. And then I spent a lot of time in the lab with these two guys, a lot of time. I will finish the clinic and I will go and stay there until 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, looking for all of my cases to see, you know, how the implant is placed, why they have a problem, why do they make this mushroom-shaped prosthesis. And I came to realize that what they could do was limited because of what I was offering to the dentist and the dentist to the lab. And digging deeper into the literature, I came to get new knowledge, but also remember things that I was taught many years ago and I forgot or I didn't completely understand. And I came to realize that taking care of soft tissue conditioning is very important. It's a very important factor to prevent periimplantitis. So the next step was naturally to start conditioning the tissue. And the available techniques that we had to involve the restorative dentist. I could not control the case. Why? Because then I will have to spend a lot of my time, and basically this extra time, this extra cost will not allow me or my referral dentist to invest in this process, which I knew that I had to do, otherwise I will have to deal with the problems later on. So then I said, okay, the easiest way to deal with this transmucosal zone conditioning is not through dynamic compression or cervical contouring, et cetera, like through the restorative states, but to utilize anatomical healing abutments at the time of surgery. So straight from surgery, you can take care of this. And then if any slight modifications are needed, this is very easy to be done with the final prosthesis. So I said, okay, I need anatomical healing abutments. So back then I started looking into the market. The problem was that only very few companies had limited size, limited shapes. Not all the implant companies had them available. The ones that they had them, as I said, they were expensive. I needed to have a big stock of this for the different connections, platform size, et cetera, et cetera. Exactly. So I said, okay, this is a problem. And then I said, okay, what if I make a mold and start fabricating them by myself? So this is how it started, and it started with a very small prototype. And then when George got involved with his knowledge and experience, we spent tons of time on top of that, along with some brilliant engineers that they were in our team, like Marios and Pavlos. And we created a very sophisticated tool that accommodates so many different prosthetic and biologic principles, and putting full control into the whole process. So that's how it started.
Great. And George, how did you decide to be part of this, to join Ioannis to do this innovation?
Oh, it was the fire and passion that he had in his gut on that very first day that I met him in the laboratory. You know, I developed stuff myself as well because I've been making things since 1998. That was 2015 when I saw Ioannis for the first time, and I could see the fire and passion in his stomach. And I kind of saw myself in him as well. So you know, and when I got to the surgery on that day and we started to talk, and I thought, wow, this is something that I like. And I just, you know, there was a connection, and he's a great guy too. Don't listen to what he says. He's a nice guy. So as we started working on this, you know, we were bantering off each other. I would think something and he would say it, or he would think something and I would say it.
So you synced, you were synced.
I don't know. It was
big time.
Voodoo or something was happening. I don't know, but it was just like this off and on. But, you know, it took time, but it just slowly started to get to where it is today. But look, Mazier, a lot of mistakes, a lot to get where you are today. A lot. It's up and down, up and down.
Yeah, it's an adventure. But George, you didn't have any surgical background.
No. Well, this is the key.
Adopted.
I'm glad you said that. Good thing. You know, no surgical background. So basically one day, he started talking to me about junctional epithelium and this and that and the other. And I'm going, what is he talking about? And he said to me, okay, well, you're going to have to learn all this. If you're on this trip, you're going to have to learn. And he grabbed the Holy Grail, the Linda, the book.
The Linda.
He threw it on the table and he said to me, start reading. And I thought to myself, okay, back to the books. So, and then I started to, you know, feel all this and understand it. And the book, Linda's got beautiful diagrams in it and very explanatory. And then I would go back and ask him, okay, what is this? And what is a PDL? And then I just learned. And the thing is that I wanted to learn it, but to learn it, I didn't want to talk it like a parrot. So I was continuously with him, you know, in this communication. And then I understood why we're doing what he wants to do, you know. And then it all started to create a full circle for me as well. So, you know, it's been an interesting trip. Trust me.
Okay.
Well, Mazier, let me tell you something. George might be one of the most well-educated, surgically educated dental technicians in the world.
Right. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. No, I'm not joking, because he had to understand, he had to learn. In order to be able to implement principles into the tool, you know, because George was and is in charge of the manufacturing process and making things work. Because I just say, George, I want this tool to be able to do this. That's what I want. And he tells me, oh, it's impossible. And I said to him, no, it's not impossible. We just need to think about it.
Yeah.
And he figures out the way to do it. Now, if he doesn't understand why what I'm telling him, what I'm asking is important, he's not going to put 100% in it. He will think, okay, Ioannis is just like a, you know, weird guy, and he's asking for this, but it doesn't matter if we don't provide. No, he needs to understand why I'm pain in the butt sometimes, you know, with him when I'm asking something. And the only way is if he learns biology, if he understands the biologic principles.
Mazier, I'll give you an example of what happened one day. We came, it was about 1.5 years on, and we had already made the mold, okay? And we were getting beautiful results. But at that time, while we were getting the results that we were getting, I found that he needed me more than he should. In other words, I was the guy in the background, always trimming something, fixing something. And I said to him, this is not user-friendly. We have to make sure that the product is user-friendly.
Yeah, it's very important to be in everyday practice.
We hit the wall. We hit a wall. And I said to him, brother, we got to do something here. There's something wrong here. And then we had a special moment in the
No. Mazier, that's not the way he said it. We are in the clinic. I'm in between surgeries, and comes to me and he tells me, "Listen, this is BS. The other dentists will have next to them to be able to do this. They are going to take the kit and they're going to throw it away. We need to make it more user-friendly."
I was honest, Mazier.
That's the way he said it.
You were in the clinic, in that surgery room for
4.5 years, day and night, 6 and 7 days a week sometimes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why it's working now.
Thank you. Go on, finish what you were going to say.
So the problem was that I will choose the shape and size eyeballing, meaning I will see this premolar and I will say, okay, the way I see it, I need a medium size premolar. Or I will have placed already the implant and I will not have positioned my implant ideally in the side.
Okay.
So if this is the case, then you need to modify, to modify the size and the shape. So this, I will ask George, please do this modification for me. And he will try to modify and polish it and make it look nice. But I will finish in 2 minutes the rest of the procedure. And I'm
No, wait. He's put the implant, he's done everything. I've gotten the abutment with the composite and I have gone into the office and I'm trimming it down. He's put the implant, he's put the second implant and the third implant, and he's still waiting for me to polish up he's that quick. It's incredible and that accurate. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Anyway, the thing is, I go on top of him and I say, dude, I mean, I'm done. I need the healing abutments, and this will frustrate him. So at that moment, George, he got red. If you know him, when he gets away, he got all red, all swollen. He told me, this is it. The other dentists will not have me next to them. So this is not going to work. We need to figure out something. So I look at him and I say, okay, man, relax. Then look, make me some tabs that they are replicas of the wells of the silicone. So I have something in my hand and I can put it in the edentulous space that will resemble the shape and size of the healing abutment, so that I don't have to choose by eyeballing, but I can just figure out what I need.
Eureka moment, Mazier. Eureka moment. He just said, oh, make me this. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, so this is staring us in the face. But because it's so centered and so zoned in when you're developing things, sometimes you don't look left and right. And he said to me, go and make this thing. And that was a eureka moment. And I took off. Go on.
Yeah, but this is the fun part. So Mazier, we are in my clinic, right? I lose him for 3 hours. He was in the clinic somewhere. I didn't know where he was. 4 hours later, he comes and he throws me on my desk some dummy tabs. So he made the prototype of the Cervico guide in 3 to 4 hours. So I have pictures of all this. It will be nice.
Yeah, but it was just tabs and shapes. And then he said to me, put a borehole in the center. Then he said to me, put a T-line on the top. And I'd be back and forth. But all these things made a difference. All these things, because it allowed him to be able to evaluate the edentular space and not waste time. So it was the lynch, and it was the thing that we needed to take off again,
Okay.
It was very frustrating at that moment. But, this is innovation. It goes like this.
Yes. It's an adventure. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
And that, what was the research and development process, patenting process? What was that? I think it was very hard. Yes.
The beginning was hard. We started the first patent was in 2014. Right now I think we have 7 or 8, and we have 3 more applications that they are running for different projects.
Yeah.
So the first one was tough because we just trusted blindly a patent lawyer, and the collaboration was not very fruitful. So we spent a lot of time, and it was not cost effective at all to get this first patent. But luckily, it gave me the trigger to the initiative. I understood that I need to study patent law, meaning not to become a patent lawyer, but I need to understand the language and need to understand what a patent is, how do you get a patent, and how do you communicate with a lawyer in order to be able to make teamwork with your patent lawyer. And that's how we found the legal team that we have now, and we have been collaborating now since 2015, and we have amazing results, like going very straightforward and getting the patents with not any major issues. So for the people out there that they have a new idea and they want to go for a patent, I will strongly recommend that they need to study. They need to study a lot so that they can have a good opinion. They can have some background to be able to evaluate their patent lawyer and be able to communicate properly with the patent lawyer so that they can help him and he can help them. Otherwise, it can be a really dramatic situation, and it can take a lot of time and cost a lot of money. And at the end, you may not get any results.
Right.
I mean, what he did with the patents, Ioannis, for me is phenomenal. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a guy so methodical and go into depth in study to learn how to do things properly. And today, all the patents that we have in our name, I dedicate to him because he put so much of it. His sister helped us, Melina helped us an amazing amount as well. But the work and the effort that he's put into it to be able to get the patents and so well protected is just mind-blowing, because whatever he attacks, he goes for it, and he goes with 100% passion. It's just crazy. Respect, brother.
Okay, great. And do you think it's this system becomes a standard of care in daily use in dental practice as a standard of care?
I don't know if Cervico has to become standard of care, but soft tissue conditioning, without any doubt, has to become standard of care.
Yes.
So we need to start from there. We need to help people become more educated about how important is this soft tissue zone and this transmucosal complex, because it's an interaction between the soft tissue and the parts of the implant that they are located in this zone, and you have like this interaction where the bacteria go into the game, and everything, the party starts. So soft tissue conditioning must become standard of care, and I'm very happy to see that over the last 1 or 2 years, we see now more and more papers being published on the importance of soft tissue conditioning, either directly or indirectly through the way they affect the prosthesis design. And what I've been saying to George is I feel very proud for what we have done, because the way Cervico, the end result of Cervico respects all these principles that now more and more are being shown how important they are, meaning about the different, adjusting for the different depths of placement of the implant, of the emergence line angles, you know, of the abutment, of the emergence profile, of the cervical, everything. So for me, it's not about cervical, it's about soft tissue conditioning. Now, if a dentist has the time and has the effort, can put the effort to do soft tissue conditioning through the dynamic compression technique, that's great. If they have the ability and the capacity to be able to accommodate soft tissue and hard tissue topography and communicate that with the lab and to be able to do the cervical contouring technique of Nitzan, excellent. It doesn't matter. We use Cervico because anatomical healing abutment is the easiest way to do it and the most cost effective.
Yes.
And with Cervico, I can have up to 120 different options of healing abutment that I can fabricate in 3 minutes per implant platform. So I have a huge variety that I can choose from. I can have what I need right there in 3 minutes. So I don't need to have a huge stock. So I can deliver for anything I do. Either I do 1 stage or 2 stages or immediate placement or immediate loading. For whatever implant system I use, and I use 4 different implant systems in my clinic. So it's one of the solutions. So that's my answer.
Yeah, great. Thank you. And in every adventure, it was a kind of adventure, you know, and during these years, I'm sure you learned very much about this. Maybe inside you are not the person that you started from the first place. You are not that person anymore. You learn very much from this adventure. What was the greatest lesson you learned from this adventure, from this inventory process?
Oh, patience. Patience. Trying to find solutions, trying to be able to put all this together and find solutions day in, day out. It was just a continuous banter with Ioannis and fight to be able to, not fight, but I mean, you know, trying to be able to make these things happen, and just a continuous thinking. The lesson, patience, a lot of patience.
Yeah, just patience.
For me, first of all, for all the young people out there that they have a new idea, go for it. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. I had that happen to me before. I had ideas. I saw these ideas becoming fruitful for other companies, other people. And then I was thinking, oh, look, I had thought about that. I had tried that, you know, but I never did anything with it. So if you have something that you believe in it, then go after it. If you go after it, don't go after for the money, because you're going to lose a lot of money before you can even see some light at the end of the tunnel. So it's not about the money, it's about your passion, about love. The third thing that I learned is that the most important thing is to find the right people to collaborate. If I had not met George and we had not matched and shared the same passion and the same love for what we do, and we had one to fill the voids of the other, you know, and together move forward together, it will have stayed this very first prototype that I made to just cover some of my initial needs in the clinic. Yeah. So don't be scared to collaborate when you find the right person to do that, and share this journey with them. And
follow your dreams.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. I'll tell you, Marcia, after I don't know, like thousands of implants and sinus lifts and block grafts, and I came to the point that, like, for many years now, I go to the clinic and I don't know my schedule. I don't care if I have to do a sinus lift and then the next patient is to place an implant or remove a wisdom tooth. I don't care. It's a routine for me. But this innovation thing and all this journey gave me more passion, gave me a new initiative, you know, like to start reading and go back to literature and reading more and digging back into my old books and buying new books, etc., etc. So whatever inspires us, you know, we need inspiration in our life. So whatever that is.
Right. That's very important. Yeah. Okay. What's the next step for you two?
Oh, we've got a lot in the pipeline at the moment. We've got quite a few things coming up.
Uh-huh.
As you know, the digital world is, you know, going at light speed. So we've developed something that we call the iCervico. We have something else which is the cervical socket plug technique, which papers have been written on that as well. So it's just a continuation of innovation.
Great.
And get the product across the globe.
COVID
put the brakes on it for a little while, but the momentum is picking up.
Great.
So it's a non-stop journey. We love it.
Yes.
It's more fun than the bad times. So we just keep on going.
Non-stop journey is very nice topic for that. Yeah, very good.
Yes.
And Ioannis, may you talk about this emergence profile and show us some slides or talking about this?
I need to do share screen, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, because I have given like, I don't know how many webinars so far.
Okay, let me make you host to do that.
Okay,
You are
I
host
just
now.
screen, right?
You can share a screen.
Okay.
Okay, you can find it in the bottom of the screen.
Okay.
And also we have some Facebook difficulties, but it's not a problem because I record this Zoom and I put it on Facebook later.
Okay, cool. Good.
You find it? Share a screen?
Yes. Can you see now my screen? I hope so.
Not yet.
Okay, sir. Yes, okay. I think I got it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Great. Fantastic.
And let me see, how do we put play now?
Apopano. There it is, yeah. Oh, a little bit to the left. Thank you. Down.
That's security, that's stop video.
To the right, Yanni.
Ah, okay, wait a minute.
You can put the play button and it becomes.
There you go, okay.
Yeah, perfect.
So basically it's gonna be the story of Cervico, how it was evolved in a short presentation. Like I said, the more time we practice, the more cases we see with problems. And when I started placing implants, for me, a long-term result was 5 years later. You know, as I grew older, we got now to worry about 15 years results. And at the end of the day, it depends when we plan to retire. So from my experience over these many years and many thousands of implants is that the #1 cause of losing an implant is periimplantitis. I mean, I really can count in my two hands the number of implants I had to replace because the implant broke. And even some of these that broke, they broke after there was severe bone loss. So they ended up breaking afterwards. And or because a screw was broken and we could not remove it, etc., etc. But the majority of the implants that we lose is due to periimplantitis. And periimplantitis is a very aggressive disease. It's not like periodontitis. We know that it invades the bone. The inflammatory infiltrate is not encapsulated like in periimplantitis. And also because we have a very few number of fibroblasts, the damage that is generated by the inflammation, the body doesn't have the time to do the turnover. That's why periimplantitis can expand so fastly from in months or in a year, you can see like 50% bone loss. While we have teeth with periodontitis, with 50, 60, 70% bone loss, and we are able to maintain them. Now, what is really bothersome is that when we see systematic review and meta-analysis showing that almost 20% of the patients will develop periimplantitis in 5 years. And then when we look into the literature, we will see that in private practice environments, they have reported up to 53% prevalence of periimplantitis. These are very big numbers, and I think that the reality is somewhere in between, and we have to do something with it. And if we look into periimplantitis, I personally believe a big problem is that as soon as the implant develops an infection, the case is sent back to the surgeon. And then the surgeon tries to treat the case surgically. I mean, I am dealing constantly with a problem like the dentist don't want to, the restorative dentist doesn't want to remove the prosthesis on top of the implant. And in many of these cases, the prosthesis is the problem. This is what started everything. And it's not always a matter of a badly fabricated or delivered prosthesis by the referral dentist. It could be a mal-placed implant. Like an implant, if it's not placed properly, then there is no room for this prosthesis to be designed and fabricated properly. So everything starts from this little transmucosal area, the zone between the implant and the prosthetic part, the suprastructure. And if we look at the transmucosal area, we have two areas of interest. The cervical profile, which is the outline of the gingival margin, and this is the area that will receive the cervical profile of the prosthesis, and then the space in between, which is the submergence profile. Other people call it submergence, other people call it emergence. It doesn't make any difference. It depends how you look at it, from the implant up or from the top to the bottom. Now, Cervico is called Cervico because it fully controls the cervical profile. And that was an idea about the name from Nietzsche, Bicaccio. And Cervico allows full freedom as far as the emergence profile, meaning it follows certain principles, but it allows you to modify if you need so. Yeah, now for some reason, it doesn't, I got stuck. Maybe I'm not host anymore. Oh, okay.
Okay.
So what is very important? If you look at these two studies, they looked the cases that they developed periimplantitis. One of them shows 77% and the other one 74% of the cases which developed periimplantitis, the design of the prosthesis did not allow proper plaque control. The best way to design a biologic prosthesis in order to allow the patient to apply proper oral hygiene in the plaque zone. Where is the plaque zone located? In the sulcus. Where is the sulcus? In the cervical profile of the tissue. So if this cervical profile of the tissue is the same with the cervical profile of the prosthesis, then the toothbrush or the floss can access this plaque zone and can disturb the bacteria. If not, you have this kind of results. I'm not saying that, the studies show that. So plaque control is very important. So if we take out this issue, we take out the cement sepsis issue by either providing screw retained prosthesis or proper protocols for cement removal with proper abutments, etc., etc. We can really minimize the prevalence of periimplantitis because we remove the iatrogenic factors. And it seems that right now, most of the case, the majority of periimplantitis is related to iatrogenic factors and not to the host response per se. So that's why we developed with George Cervico, which was a way to make this soft tissue conditioning process easy through an anatomically shaped healing abutment. The system is very simple, although sophisticated. Basically, you have one tool, the guide, as we said before. You use this in order to figure out what healing abutment you need. And then in the mold, you make this healing abutment. You install it on the implant, either at the time of placement or at the time of uncovery. and you get this kind of soft tissue conditioning straight from surgery. Now, you can do dynamic compression technique with cervical healing abutment, meaning if you are the restorative dentist and the surgeon places a stock healing abutment, you can expand this tissue by just utilizing different size of cervical healing abutments gradually. Me personally, I am a strong believer that the best time to condition this tissue is straight from surgery, because when the tissue quality is proper, this tissue can just passively go and adapt around the custom healing abutment, and without putting any pressure and dislocating the cervical margin more apically, you can get to the final end result. But it's a matter of preference. Okay. Now, what is a very important part of Cervico is that you can also fabricate the duplicate impression post, so that whatever is the shape of the soft tissue after you condition it with the healing abutment, now you can accurately record this and transfer it to the lab. Because at the end of the day, whatever you have in the mouth, all this information has to go to the lab, so that the lab can fabricate the proper prosthesis that will support this tissue. And this is the connecting link between the surgical room and the lab.
Ioannis, may I stop you for a moment?
Yes.
From the first place, one of my friends asked me yesterday, actually regarding this, how to measure the depth of the running room for placing a better healing abutment with your system. I mean, from the neck of the implant to the crest of the gingival margin.
We have in the system, in the Cervico guide, has a special tool which is called depth gauge. This is basically like something similar to a probe, but with bigger numbers, you know, in a special design that allows you to be able to place it on top of the platform without falling into the screw channel of the implant. And then from there you can see and measure. And what I always say when I lecture is that it's very important when we place our implant to use this tool and measure the distance between the platform and the zenith point of the future prosthesis.
Okay, great.
Because I see that a lot of people, they focus on measuring the soft tissue above the bone crest. It is based on the initial studies from Göteborg and the newer studies from Thomas Linkevicius, which is very important to see this. But at the end of the day, the implant platform has to be placed 4 millimeters below the zenith of the future prosthesis. And then you evaluate how much soft tissue you have above that. And if you don't have the 3 millimeters rule by Thomas or the 2 millimeters rule by Linde and Vergoullis, then you accommodate for that. So going back to your question, we have a special depth gauge that you use in order to measure this. Now, with Cervico, as I said, you can fabricate small, medium, large size anterior shapes, premolars, upper molars, and lower molars, so that you can easily, you have a huge variety, and the system adapts to your surgical protocol. Because another important thing to mention is that when you buy a prefabricated abutment, whatever company makes that, somebody made it following some principles they had in their brain. And usually I can tell you that most of the times there is an engineer and not a doctor behind these designs. So then you go and you place your implant. And this abutment is made keeping in mind that you will place your implant crestally. But you place now your implant 2 millimeters below the crest, or 1 millimeter below the crest, or 3 millimeters below the crest. Now this component doesn't fit on the implant. So what do you need to do? You need to start removing bone in order to be able to fit this in there. So basically, the healing abutment makes you adjust your protocol and become more invasive. Cervico gives you so many options with regard to shape, sizes, and depths that the system goes and adjusts to what you need. not you to the system. I think this is a very important factor. So basically, the whole concept is that you can go from a flat soft tissue architecture and like straight, just by simply connecting on your implant an anatomical and cervical healing abutment instead of a stock healing abutment, you get this type of soft tissue. And then you record and you give this information to the lab. The same if it's anterior, the same if it's a premolar immediate cases with premolars, the same is if it's a molar. It doesn't make any difference. The results are consistent and we utilize it, either we do 1 stage or 2 states, immediate placement, immediate loading, whatever. It doesn't make any difference. Like some people tell me, so Yanni, can we use this when we do immediate placement? Can you use in immediate placement a temporary prosthesis? Yes. I say, okay, wherever you can use a temporary prosthesis, you can use cervical healing abutment, which is the cervical subgingival part of an anatomical temporary prosthesis. That's what it is. So there is no limitation to where you can use it. But obviously, you follow basic principles. Like you said before, you cannot place the implant with 2 millimeters transmucosal zone. If you only have 2 millimeters, you're not going to get any soft tissue conditioning. So is this a problem of cervical? No, because it's a problem of placement. Because we know from like I said, from Vergoullis study, from Likevicius studies, we know that if you don't respect this rule, the bone will recede in order for the peri-implant seal to be established on the implant level and not the abutment level. But we try not to lose bone, right? So when we plan and place our implant, we need to respect certain principles. And this is where Cervico goes hand by hand with these principles. And it works serving these principles.
Right.
And like I said, you can not only make anatomical healing abutments, you can make your impression post, and you can make anatomical temporary abutments. So basically, Cervico takes care of the subgingival space, and then supragingivally, you can go ahead and prep this as a regular tooth, or just leave the pillar of the temporary abutment uncovered from composite material. So your lab technician or yourself, you start working on your temporary prosthesis on a supragingival level. The subgingival level, which has always been the big headache for most of the dentists, how do I design it not to lose, not to get recession, not to lose support, etc. Cervico takes care of it. We have several publications, and we have been working hard, with a lot of great doctors around the globe to get more publications on the system. And we have been involved in many universities, in many postgrad departments. Right now, they are teaching Cervico. Actually, there is one university in Romania that Cervico has been included in their undergrad level of education, which is I'm very excited about it. But as I said, we have universities in Greece, in Israel, in the States, that they have included it in their postgrad departments. And I really hope that we will see some well-organized research coming out of there and showing how the anatomical healing abutments with the design that Cervico provides can really have a positive effect on long-term results.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay, great. Fantastic. I like it very much. I think everybody should use this for a better soft tissue healing and better provisional crown and emergence profile. It's amazing. Thank you so much.
Welcome
for doing this.
Thank you,
And yes, George.
Thank you so much for the time that you've given us. We appreciate it very, very much.
Great. It's my pleasure to be with you Ioannis and George, and enjoy it. And
It was fun. It was fun, Mazier. Thank you for having us.
thank you. Thank you so much. So, anything you want to say as a goodbye? And I had that, I don't know why this time I had several Facebook lost. I tried several times, but I don't know what happened. But I put it in the Facebook and the channel.
We have a little video, well, some slides and some music of, and we just like to say some thank you to some friends that have been on this journey.
Please do that.
I need to share screen with you.
Sure. You can share it or not.
Yeah, I just need to work this out. Open system preferences, is that correct?
No, you go on the screen, on the bottom, there is share screen.
On the bottom, share a screen. It's a yellow green mark with arrow.
Yeah, and then which one do I choose here? It says universal access, whiteboard.
No, white, just a screen.
It says desktop 1.
Desktop 1, yes.
Open system preferences.
Desktop 1. Did it?
So I've got to go Zoom, yeah.
Just desktop 1 and share it.
No, that's not working for some reason.
You need to tick Zoom on preferences to give it allowance.
I did. Okay, quick.
Let me make you host, maybe better for you.
General.
Okay, you are host. Now maybe you can do that.
So,
share a screen.
Share screen.
And desktop 1. Okay.
Okay.
We can see your screen, just so put the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
These are all our good friends from around the world that we've met and been really together with us on this journey. And we just want to say a big thank you to everyone. We appreciate everybody's help. The team from Portugal, Christian.
Like birds of a feather.
Right.
No lie. All of the people around us, they say, can they be that close?
And of course, we have key opinion leaders from all over the globe at the moment with us on this journey, and we thank them very, very much for all their efforts. And it's continuing. Slowly, we're gathering momentum.
Great.
And there's a lot of people talking about the product at the moment, which is good to see. So all of this information I will just show you. Of course, this is what Ioannis talked about before. I'll just move on from this. This was us at the IDS 2 years ago, almost 2 years now. And of course, in 2021, hopefully COVID will allow us to go. We will see. And this is our digital presence. So if anybody wants to take some information down. So thank you so much for everything. I hope you liked it, Mazier. It was fun for us.
Thank you. It was fun for me, for all of our participants, and very nice, informative, valuable, and applicable. So much fun I had with you guys. Thank you so much for
Appreciate it.
giving this opportunity. Okay, thank you so much. Ioannis, hope to see you after this crisis and in a meeting or a congress or in a office of mine or Ioannis or you, George. Yeah, it was very delightful for me. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you. Take care and take care. Stay safe and be happy. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
That went okay? It was good. Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Bye.